Good day, students. So today we are going to discuss the motion in one dimension. But first, let's see the learning objectives. At the end of this lecture, students should be able to first define what motion is. Second, differentiate the two categories of mathematical quantities such as scalar and vector quantities. And lastly, know how to determine the distance traveled and displacement of an object. Okay, let's start. What is motion? Motion is the action or process of moving or being moved according to dictionary.com. And it is a change in position with respect to a frame of reference. Later, we will discuss the meaning of the frame of reference. So let's take a look at this illustration for us to understand more what motion is. So there is an object here. It is a red car. So if this red car from point A moved to point B, we can say that there is motion. But if this red car doesn't move at all, there's no motion. Okay, let's see this example. The example A, the car moved from this point to this point. So we can say that there is a motion. While example B, the car doesn't move, so there is no motion. Okay, let's go back to the second definition of motion. This is motion is change in motion with respect to a frame of reference. But what is a frame of reference? Frame of reference is any object that serves as starting point. So, ang frame of reference ay kung saan nagsimula gumalaw yung object. So, sa example na to, this car, red car from point A, moved to point B. So, we can say that the frame of reference of this motion is the point A. Kasi doon nag-start gumalaw yung red car. Another example, what is the frame of reference here? Saan nanggaling yung red car? From here to there? Yes, so the frame of reference is the store. Okay, let's move on to scalar quantity and vector quantity. Scalar, quantities that are fully described by a magnitude or numerical value alone, while vector are quantities that are fully described by both a magnitude and a direction. Example, north, clockwise, east, west, forward, etc. So basically, the difference between these two is that vector is accompanied by a direction. So kahit anong quantity na merong direction, siya ay vector. So let's take a look at this table. Here are the examples of scalar quantity and vector quantity. Scalar quantity, the examples are distance, speed, mass, temperature, and time. While vector quantity, there is displacement, velocity, acceleration, force, and torque. So as we notice, the vector quantity has a direction: east, north of west, clockwise, etc. So let's move on to description of motion. Any type of motion can be described in terms of the following. Number 1, distance. 2, displacement. 3, speed. 4, velocity. And 5, acceleration. But let's discuss the distance and displacement first. Let's differentiate these two. Distance is defined as the length of path taken by an object. So basically, ang distance lang ay kung yung measurement natin travel nung object na gumalaw. So for this example, this red car moved from this point to this point, and the measurement of the distance traveled is 7 kilometers. Another example, this red car, nag-travel siya from the initial point, pumunta siya dito sa second point, and pumunta siya dito sa final position. So, ang distance lang dyan ay yung kung gaano kalayo yung tinravel ng red car, ng object. So, in this case, the total distance is 4 kilometers plus 5 kilometers is equals to 9 kilometers. Let's discuss now the displacement. What is displacement? An object's change in position only measuring from its starting point to the final position. Take note. It is a change in position only measuring from its starting point to the final position. The straight line distance from the initial position to the final position. So, ang displacement ay yung straight line lang from the initial position to the final position. No matter where the object traveled, hindi siya minimeasure, kundi ang displacement ay yung straight line lang, distance lang ng initial position to the final position. So, here is an example. So, sa example kanina, itong red car ay nag-travel from here to this point until this point. So, ang displacement dyan ay hindi ito, kundi yung straight line lang from initial position to the final position. So, let's measure that. And then, ang measurement niya ay 7 kilometers. So, we can say that the displacement is 7 kilometers. So, magkaiba sila. Total, magkaiba ang distance sa displacement. Hindi lahat ng distance ay displacement, pero lahat ng displacement ay distance. Okay, let's have another example. So, let's take a look at this illustration. This man riding on a bicycle traveled from here to here. So, nag-travel siya, galing dito, dito siya dumaan, papunta dito. So, kung tatanungin tayo kung anong distance, ang magiging sagot natin ay 15 kilometers. Kasi mineasure lang natin kung saan siya dumaan, kung gaano kalayo yung tinravel niya. But, if we are about to talk about displacement, or kung tatanungin tayo kung anong displacement, ang displacement dyan ay itong straight line lang from initial position to the final position, which is 10 kilometers. So, ayan. And the frame of reference of this motion is the lamp post lamp. Okay. So, that's it. Let's have a short quiz. Scalar or vector. We're going to say if the given is scalar or a vector. Number 1, 8 kilometers per hour. Write your answers on a paper and later we will check it. Number 2, 100 newtons. And then next, true or false. Number 3, all displacements are considered as distances and vice versa. So, lahat daw ng displacements ay distance and vice versa. So, ang distance daw ay, lahat daw ng distance ay displacement din. True or false? Next, let's look at the illustration. What is the total distance traveled by the bike from the tree A, from this tree to tree C? Sorry, it's 3C. What is the total distance? Total distance na tinravel nitong bike from here to there. How many kilometers? You can pause this video kung kailangan nyo pa ng time to compute. And then last number 5. How about its total displacement? Ano ang measurement or ano ang total displacement ng motion nitong bike from 3A to 3C? Okay. So let's check your work. Number 1, the correct answer is scalar. 2, vector. 3, 4, false. And 4, 7 meters. 5, 5 meters. So again, number 1, siya ay scalar kasi wala siyang direction. While number 2, 100 newtons. So ito ay force. Ito ay isang vector quantity. And number 3, false kasi katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, lahat ng displacements ay distances pero hindi lahat ng distance ay displacement. So false. And then, ang total distance traveled by the bike from 3A to 3C ay 4 plus 3, so equals 7 meters. And then, the displacement is 5 meters. Okay? So, that ends my presentation. I hope you learned something new today. You can comment down below your answers and your scores. Thank you for watching and God bless. Bye.